Men over 50 do only these 5 exercises. Your power will skyrocket. That morning walk you're so proud of. For men over 50, it might be quietly costing you muscle, the one thing keeping you independent. Your body doesn't need more cardio right now. It needs a different kind of signal. Here are the only 5 moves that send it. Here's something nobody tells you at your annual physical. Your body isn't falling apart after 50. It's just changing its operating rules. Think of it like an old house. The plumbing still works, the wiring still carries current, but the systems age differently. And if you don't understand what changed, you'll keep doing maintenance on the wrong parts. Today, we're not talking about looking better. We're talking about staying capable, carrying your own groceries, getting off the floor without a production number, keeping your balance on ice in January. That's the real return on investment here. And it comes down to 5 specific movements, each one answering a specific biological reality. Let's go through the why behind each one. Point 1, rebuilding your foundation. Here's the reality of our biology. Starting in your 30s and picking up speed after 50, the body begins retiring muscle fibers it isn't using. Research on aging populations shows adults can lose somewhere between 3 and 8% of their muscle mass per decade, and that rate roughly doubles after 60. It's not a malfunction. It's a use it or lose it accounting system, and your legs hold the biggest account. Think of your leg muscles like the foundation of a house. You don't notice a foundation when it's solid. You only notice it when the floors start to shift. The squat pattern, sitting back into a chair, standing up from the floor, easing down and driving back up, is the single best signal you can send to keep that foundation load-bearing. It's not about heavy weight. It's about consistency. A foundation gets reinforced through repeated moderate pressure, not through one dramatic renovation. Protecting your structural beam. Your lower back and hamstrings work like the main support beam in that same house, the one running the length of the structure, taking on load every time you bend, lift, or twist. After 50, spinal discs lose hydration and become less like a shock-absorbing cushion and more like a compressed sponge. That's simply what happens to connective tissue over time, a maintenance reality, not a flaw. The hinge movement, think of it as a controlled bow at the waist, hips sliding back, spine staying long, trains the beam to bear weight the way it's designed to, through the hips and hamstrings, not through the lower back alone. Skip this pattern, and your lower back quietly becomes the load-bearing wall it was never meant to be. Train it, and you've reinforced the beam before you ever feel it start to sag. Here's a fact most men don't hear until it's already a problem. Bone density declines measurably after 50, and for men, the drop accelerates further after 65 as testosterone gradually declines, roughly 1% a year on average starting in the 30s. Bone isn't like concrete poured once and done. It's more like the plumbing in an old house, living tissue constantly being broken down and rebuilt, and it only rebuilds where it's asked to. A pushing movement, palms pressing weight away from you, whether it's the floor, a wall, or a bar overhead, puts direct mechanical pressure through your wrists, shoulders, and chest. That pressure is the ask. It's the maintenance call that tells your skeletal system, this beam is still in use, keep it reinforced. Bone remodels in response to load. No load, no remodeling request sent. Point 4, the pull pattern, correcting your posture's balance sheet. Think about how most days actually go. Steering wheels, keyboards, phone screens, everything pulls your shoulders forward. Over decades, that's not a one-time expense, it's compound interest working against you. The muscles across your chest shorten and stay short. The muscles across your upper back, the ones responsible for pulling your shoulders back into a stacked, capable position, slowly go underused and undercapitalized. A pulling movement, rowing motion, pulling elbows back and together is how you make a deposit on the other side of that ledger. It's not glamorous. Nobody posts about their rows, but it's the entry that keeps your posture's balance sheet from going upside down. And upside down posture is directly tied to shoulder pain, breathing capacity, and how old your frame reads to your own nervous system before it reads to anyone else. Point 5, the carry balance pattern, ensuring against the one event that changes everything. Last fact, and it's the one that matters most. After 50, the systems that manage your balance, the inner ear, the nerves in your feet, the reaction speed of stabilizing muscles, all begin responding more slowly. This isn't decline for its own sake. It's simply a recalibration of your internal sensors, the same way an older machine's response time shifts as its components age. And it's the single biggest reason a fall becomes a life-altering event in your 50s, 60s, and beyond in a way it never was in your 20s. Carrying weight, one dumbbell in one hand, walking a straight line, core staying tight, shoulders staying level, trains the exact stabilizing system responsible for keeping you upright when a curb catches you off guard. Call it insurance. You don't buy insurance because you expect the accident. You buy it because the cost of being unprotected is too high to gamble on. This is the cheapest insurance policy in your entire longevity plan, and it takes about 90 seconds aside, the adjustment most doctors don't mention. Here's the piece that rarely comes up in a 15-minute checkup. These 5 patterns work best done together in the same session, 2 to 3 times a week, not scattered across random days, not chasing one muscle group in isolation. Your body doesn't read isolated workouts as a renovation project. It reads consistent, full system signals as a reason to keep investing in itself. 5 patterns, steady rhythm, same weeks. That's the adjustment. None of this is about chasing the body you had at 30. That chapter's closed, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is about something more useful. Staying the guy who can still get down on the floor with his grandkids and get back up without thinking twice. The guy who carries his own bags, keeps his balance on the ice, and doesn't have to ask for help with things he used to do without a second thought. 5 patterns. No guesswork. No fear. Just the maintenance your body's been asking for. This is Primespan After 50. Steady progress for the years that matter most. If this gave you something useful, subscribe and turn on the notification bell for another research-backed video on longevity science, vitality for healthy living. I'll see you there.